Nah, we'll figure it out. Do a little intro, and then we'll just a little short interview here and there. It's cold as balls in my office. Phew. In. Uh, who was last week's winner? Mm, hold on a second. Yep. In three, two, one.
Hello and welcome to another Tuesday night here in the Radfink Racing League. It's time for week number 10. This time it is at Richmond Short Track Racing to continue this title chase. My name is William Tiller, joined by the man always doing
No, I think tonight's going to be more of a tire saving strategy at this point because, again, roughly talking to the guys before the race, we were getting, about 85 to 90 laps, on a full tank. So, if we go completely green all the way through, it'll be a one stop run at that point. But, from what the guys were telling me, that they were kind of burning up tires. But with the pre-race interviews, we're gonna pull up Mr. Thomas Wynn at this point. Just give me one second. Let me get him out of the interview room really quick. Thomas, you got a copy?
Yeah.
How's it going, sir? You are live with Mr. Will and myself on the broadcast, and we just want to ask you a couple of pre-race questions before getting started. How's the track treating you tonight?
Uh, it's tough.
You think it's going to be a fuel saver, or you think it's going to be a tire saver with
Uh,
with
I,
Richmond?
I think it'll be tire for me. It's going to be tires. I don't know about everybody else, but I haven't had a very good last couple of weeks. So I'm just trying to stay safe out here.
I hear you. I hear you. Will, you got anything for Mr. Thomas?
Yeah, Thomas, you always have that fan club watching you here every week. What do you have to do to finally take home a victory or even give him that shout out there on the podium?
I think just quit making mistakes. I think we have the speed to stay in the mid pack top five, top 10, but just fixing the mistakes in pit road and on the track.
Understandable, understandable. Well, like always, Thomas, you got Mama Win out in fan club wishing you good luck to you and everyone out there. And as always, man, best of luck to you. And you guys always come in every week, in an attempt to clean race. And at the end of it, you guys always have great sportsmanship, and we always appreciate you coming out and competing.
Yes, absolutely. I also shout out my wife and my mom and dad also. So hopefully have a good race.
Awesome, thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
That was Thomas Wynn. We appreciate Thomas Wynn for joining us here in that pre-race interview, and we love his insight on this track tonight. And we were talking about that as we were coming on air, and we want to also shout out all of the Wynn fans out there as well. But this track here tonight, Jacob, is going to be one of those where drivers are going to fight for that inside lane. A lot of tire wear. With only three sets of tires, no fast repairs, these drivers are going to have quite a task keeping it on that bottom line.
No, it's either, that driving really deep into that bottom line, or you ride that outside all the way around, and you essentially, you save your tires, and hopefully, you don't burn them up, and you gain the momentum that way compared to driving that bottom lane like you were stating earlier.
As these drivers are warming up here. Just a few more laps remain here in this warm-up session. Actually, looks like it is complete. It looks like we are ready to rock and roll here in week number 10 from Richmond. The title hunt continues with just a few more races to go. Let's see who will ride off in that pole position here tonight. Rolling off in that pole position in row number 1 is going to be Jordan Tross next to one of the hottest racers right now, Drawn Crosby. Row number 2 is going to have Dakota Reeder and Ryan Philbrick. Row number 3 is going to feature Tom Ringer and Tyler Waltz. Row number 4 is going to have Todd Perron and Justin Clapper Sr. Then in row number 5, we're going to be looking at Tony Burleson and that man, Thomas Wynn in the 71. Take it away, Jacob, for the rest of the field.
Sure. So in row number 6, we have Brandon Schumann and Cody Deek. In row number 7, we have Colton Jackson and Keith Vaughn. In row number 8, we have Andy Bowman, says Jessica Bowman, but Andy Bowman and Brian Sousa. Row number 9, we have Chad Thompson and Brandon Yates. In row number 10, we have Mr. Nate Lesko and Justin Carey. Row number 11, we have David Bersecki and Zachary Wynn. Row 12, we have Gary Wright and Jeffrey Goodpaster.
As that is our starting grid for week number 10. And Jordan Tross, the favorite, always race in and race out there, Jacob, is going to start next to one of the hottest drivers right now, John Crosby. He is in the fight for that title as well, joined by Dakota Reeder, who has a win. We have Ryan Philbrick has a couple wins. Justin Clapper Sr. is trying to get that first win on the season. It's going to be quite the jump here as we're just awaiting the iRacing pace car to pull off 150 laps here tonight in the great state of Virginia. Let's kick it off as Jordan Tross, John Crosby are going to fire things across that restart zone, and the green flag drops. Lap number 1 continues, and oh no, we're already three wide already, Jacob, into corner number 1.
Starting off strong. There we go. See, there's that bottom lane right there. Seeing, let's see what Jordan and John at that point. They're going to take that outside line and see if Dakota can hold them off. Yeah, no, it looks like Jordan's going to take that bottom lane.
Yeah, as he'll contain that bottom
Oh,
lane.
oh,
Gets loose off of 4. He's able to save it, though. Keeping it calm, cool, and collected here. Lap number 2. The boys are out. The elbows are out already. We'll check in there. Dakota Reeder, John Crosby, side to side on the backstretch. Jordan Tross pulling away here in the lead into corner number 3. You see that wide shot. Thomas Wynn on the high side of the racetrack. Low side starting to dominate there as Dakota Reeder gets a little loose there off of 4 as well. Todd Perront in that 69 on the low side of the racetrack. Things starting to cool down just a little bit here, Jacob, as we're down the backstretch into 3.
we'll see how they go into 3 and 4 at that point. We got Todd Perront and right behind Zachary Wynn, and right next to Brandon Schumann at that point. Tony Burleson almost getting up into the front of Cody Deek.
It's like a battle. Oh, trying to stretch it right there. That's Todd Perront getting squeezed there to the top side of the racetrack. That's the 97 of Burleson's going to go to the inside. Cody Deek as well with the 13. They're really fighting for the inside lane. Already 5 laps in as Cody Deek gets loose off of 4. Looks like that's going to be Calamity Corner here tonight, Jacob, 5 laps in.
Yes, sir. It looks like I missed that, but it looks like Cody D kind of fell back a little bit at that point. Roughly one spot. Looked like he kind of got out of the gas a little bit on that front stretch right there.
And it's really one of these racetracks we talked about last week. flip into this week, it's sort of that short track run here in the Racing League Tuesday Night League. It's a track that may look simple at the surface, but it is very, very technical. You have to let off, you have to get your acceleration points back down as you go out of that corner. As we see already, corner number 4 is very hard to get back onto that gas pedal, keep that thing flowing into the corner, as you want to also keep that truck to the low side of the racetrack. But as these laps start to tick down, they're going to tick down pretty quick. Tire wear is going to start to come into play. It's going to be harder and harder to get that truck to stay to the low side. We talked about off air, Jacob. It's going to be the truck that's able to keep their that line to the inside the longest is probably going to go home with that checkered flag.
Yeah, no, like we were saying earlier, roughly, about 80 to 85 to 90 laps on a green flag run. So, again, kind of what we are hearing from everyone else, and we'll kind of take a look at the track temperature at this point to see, roughly, it's 88 degrees, so it's fairly warm. So there might be a decent, quick tire wear within the race towards the front. So we'll see if these guys kind of stop, maybe earlier than expected to get fuel and tires. But ultimately we'll see how that all kind of pans out.
Yeah, and coming off Ryan Philbrick's win last week, trying to go back to back again. Got to be one of the big favorites here this season. Made a big jump in those points as we see the 52 machine with a good pass. I believe those around Tom Ringer there in that 68 machine. Things starting to cool down just a little bit. We'll check in with Nate Lesko there. We also love to give him a shout out every race. He's just outside of the top 10 there in the 11th position. See Keith Vaughn right behind him. Todd Perrant there as well in that 69. Things just calming down a little bit here at Richmond. We talk about the last 3 weeks here in this Tuesday night series. We talked about Ryan Philbrick has one of those big runs here this season. Justin Clapper won at Lucas Oil, and then we look at the Atlanta results with John Crosby. John Crosby went on an incredible run there, Jacob, and he finds himself now in the lead. He made the pass over Jordan Tross. The new leader on the racetrack is John Crosby in the 73.
I know we missed that earlier, but John, unless he's going to end up burning up his tires, he roughly has about 8 tenths of a second gap lead on Jordan at this point. In which I think, I don't know, Jordan's always a topic of discussion, during the broadcast. It's always one of those things. Racing with Jordan, he's very much of a saver. He's not very much of a burner. So I'll be surprised to see what that gap will end up closing up to as the race progresses.
And if John comes home with a victory here tonight, that would put him 2 wins on the season with those 9 starts. That would tie him with our points leader, Jordan Tross, with 2 wins. Of course, Ryan Philbrick now has 3 wins after getting that third last week here in this series. But I think the running trend here in the Raptink Racing League Tuesday night series is all these newcomers love to come in and get victories as well. And Dakota Reeder is one of those guys that came in and got a victory here this season. Currently finds himself in that 5th position. Schumann, of course, Tom Ringer had a great run last
Going
week.
side by side right there.
Yeah, those guys right there just battling out. That's Dakota Reeder there in the 85, and Justin Clapper. He just got a victory a couple weeks ago. He finds himself there in the 7th position in the points. Good run here tonight. Jacob could really maybe put his name in the mix as well.
Yeah, no, we'll take a look at the standings here currently. And with that, with Justin's win, he was in the 15th spot in standings, but then it bumped him all the way up to 7th. And again, we have Jordan Tross, Ryan Philbrick, and then John Crosby. Kind of the right now our podium runners currently. Not the exact order, but those are the three common denominators that who's kind of leading the standings.
See Dakota Reeder just make a pass on Justin Clapper. You talk about those points standings. Justin Clapper in that 7th spot. Dakota Reeder finds himself there in that 11th position. Whoa, big move to the inside for the 63. They're battling out there on the low side of the racetrack. And it's that okey doke move of keeping each other off the low side, trying to get to the high side there down the backstretch. The 63 is going to get the door shut on him there. Has to check up big time. 52 of Schumann really has to catch that right behind him as they cross that start finish line. Only 19 laps in, we see just calamity all around the racetrack. As you see the 52 again try to the inside, a race.
No, and it's pretty neat to see, especially with Justin Clapper rocking that new. iRacing just released the new Dodge Ram truck for season two, so it's kind of cool to see the new body style of them. So shout out to Justin at that point, rocking that new body style.
And you see again, they'll go side to side there down the backstretch. Tom Ringer right there in the 68. We talked about his run
Ooh.
last week. Been very, very consistent there in that 68 machine. Whoa, gets a little loose there across the start finish line. The 63 machine of Justin Clapper. 52 machine of Schumann has to check up as well. Looks like the 52 is starting to feel it a little bit there as he goes into those corners, starting to just bounce a little bit off that yellow line. As Tom Ringer might take advantage of that as he looks to the inside here. We talk about him as being one of the most respectable racers out there, that 68, as he's trying to move himself up the grid right now there in that seventh spot. He'll look to the outside, has to really get low there to get that position over the 52 as they're now down the backstretch. As John Crosby still leading the way here, 22 laps in, as now Ryan Philbrick moves up to second.
Now we'll check back in with our race leader at this point. And again, roughly about a second and a tenth of a lead going on currently, and there he is rocking that paint scheme, and we'll check in really quick from the back. Again, use this code JC73 for 10% off at that point.
For all your Dubby energy needs. And if you can go back and watch last week's broadcast here on the Rat Pink Racing League Network, you can see him shout them out. He talks about all the flavors, everything you might need, and use that code John Crosby 73. And shoot, Jacob, if he keeps racking up victories, they might have to keep throwing him more and more sponsorship.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I mean, shoot, John, at this point, and we'll pull this back up again. I think two wins this season. Nope, just one. But shoot, we might make it two this evening at that point. The way he's running.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good here early on here. 25 laps in, 150 laps here on a Tuesday night in the Rat Pink Racing League. He'll come off of for leading the way. John Crosby, our leader, a quarter of the way in here on a Tuesday night. Oh no, we almost were going to go to break there as that was a big move right there as we'll check in there. That is the 30 or the 80 machine, the Bucky's machine. I love that paint scheme right there, Jacob. That's a new one on the racetrack.
Yeah, I haven't seen this paint scheme before. I kind of actually like it a lot. You don't, yeah, you don't see it very often, and a lot of people, if you don't know what Bucky's are or Bucky's is, I just Google it. It's probably one of the greatest creations that God has put on this earth.
It'll get you. It'll get you. That's for sure. Bucky's will get you. You don't think it will. You don't think you're gonna feed into the hype, and then you get there and you walk out and you look. Did I spend that? And yes, you did. Bucky's
Hmm.
will get you. As that 90 machine is trying to get around Cody Deek. That is for the 13th position on the racetrack. As things right now starting to just simmer down, starting to creep into that window here. Tire wear is just now starting to creep into these trucks as the 63 machine of Justin Clapper had a victory just a couple weeks ago, trying to make that jump in the points. Some early movers in this race so far. We have Nate Lesko up to the 8th position, up 11 spots. Justin carrying that 33 machine, he is up 11 spots as well. That 90 machine is being driven by Gary Wright, a newcomer here in the series, and he's also one of our movers here early on in this race, up 8 spots so far, up to the 15th position.
Yeah, no, and then right now we're watching Thomas Wynn kind of move through the pack at this point. Roughly down 4 spots, but we'll see if he can't pick up some more momentum and get towards the front where he was.
And I think this sort of race is a marathon, not a sprint, as we're going to take an onboard ride with that 71 machine, and you really get to see the technicality of a racetrack of Richmond. And we'll take this onboard ride. Let's go for a ride along with the 71 machine of Thomas Wynn. racetrack who can't get it low enough, or also you have to find your points on the racetrack. As like right now, the 20 machine of Nate Lesko is trying to find that point around the 52 machine. Nate Lesko is trying to move up a spot inside of that top 10. This is for that sixth position. Nate Lesko, it seems like we talk about him every week here. Jacob, just one of those guys that has bad luck, but has the speed to break through.
Yeah, excuse me. At that point, Nate was on our podium last week, and it was really good to hear from him because, again, he's a super competitor. We always like to see our guys, succeed in the season, and it was super good to hear from him. Like I said, and he just slowly but surely just moves his way through the field, and I could see him. And again, I keep on bringing this back up, but I could see him slowly but surely somehow creeping his way up within the top 10, with kind of the luck he's had towards the end of the season to get himself in the like a top 10 finish of season two.
Wow, and he's trying to do everything he can here tonight as he'll go door to door with that 52 machine. Nate Lesko is trying to be aggressive here in lap 37. He'll push that 52 up the racetrack here as we come off the corner down the backstretch. Nate Lesko is trying to go for a little BOGO action here because he also sees Schumann and Clapper right there as well to the low side of the racetrack. If he can get around Schumann, he can also make a move on Clapper. That'll put him inside of the top five. As right now, we'll keep an eye on that battle as the 20 machine will stay to the inside of the racetrack around the corner. Great maneuvering. Let's watch that acceleration off of the corner. Looks like the 52 beats the 20 just a little bit here as we're going to ride on board the 20 machine. We'll see if he can go a little 2 for 1 here as he'll stay to the low side of the 52. Wow, that's close. It's so close.
Yeah, no. See, and there they go, just diving into that bottom lane. I'm shocked we don't see more of the guys riding that outside line. And yeah, I think Brandon's right. Yeah, he's right there on that right hand side of him. We couldn't really see him out of the peripheral, but man, whew.
This is wild. As right now the 20 machine's trying to stay to the low side. He's dominating the low side of the racetrack. He's into the inside of the 52, the 52 to his right. He can't see the 52 as we were just on board there. He can't see him at the peripheral, but he can see the 63 in front of him who keeps trying to get a little bit loose. Oh, what a battle right here for the top five.
Ooh, let's see if they end up connecting. Let's see if we can keep it clean. And man, again, Brandon Schumann, he's fairly new to the league, but he's one of our, you know, top runners as well. And he always puts everyone on their shoes too. Unfortunately, last week, whew, last week his night was ended short because of the dog leg that claimed a lot of lives at Phoenix. But it'd be nice to see him possibly get a podium. But then right there you have Tom in that metallic green truck just riding him like a cheap donkey essentially, and he's just waiting to make his move at that point.
Wow. And here comes Justin Carey as well in that 33. He's just tailing just a little bit off of this pace, but what a battle. Now, Nate Lesko's going to try to the high side of the 63. They'll go door to door over the start finish line. Nate Lesko looks as though he'll get that top five spot. Nate Lesko is moving and grooving here tonight at Richmond as he is up 14 positions currently. Our heart charger, and he is charging that pack here to the lead, but he has a ways to go as there's about a 4 second gap between him and Dakota Reader. But boy, what a battle that was for a top five.
We'll take a look at our biggest gainers, and like you said, Nate Lesko is up 14 spots. Justin Carey 11, Gary Wright 9, David Bersecki 5, and Brandon Schumann 4. And we'll see. Dakota Reader. He's last lap he ran a 23-2. So Nate has ran a 23-2 as well, roughly five hundredths of a second, a little bit quicker. If we're wanting to get into a technicality detail. But we'll see if Nate can put the heat on towards Dakota, or if Dakota's going to end up making a mistake towards this green flag run.
We'll have to jump up to the top three because there is a battle raging on for the lead as it looks like Ryan Philbrick is starting to put just a little bit of pressure on our leader as we're running into lap traffic here. John Crosby with that lap traffic has slowed down just a little bit. Ryan Philbrick, Jordan Tross. That's 1, 2, 3 on the racetrack here. Jordan Tross looks as though he wants to make a move on Ryan Philbrick in that '06 as we creep up to the lap 50 here. As this battle is raging on at the top side of the grid, we're keeping an eye out on that top five. These guys were running into Philbrick. They started out as two of the best drivers so far this season. The newcomers came along. There goes Jordan Tross to the inside here into 3 and 4, the 79. Gonna try to push the 06 up the racetrack down the front stretch here across that start finish line. Ryan Philbrick will take that spot as he moves up to second over Jordan Tross, trying to catch John Crosby here, who has slowed down just a little bit here down the backstretch.
Take a look at the fastest five of the last lap. And Nate Lesko again. He's not in the picture right now. Let's see if no, he's not in the picture. But he ran a 23.2 last. John's still running a 23.5. And at that point, we'll see if Nate can end up creeping his way up towards the front and compete with these guys and kind of put them on their toes. But John's losing a little bit of time. And it looks like Ryan's slowly but surely creeping up to him.
As Ryan will come off of four. There goes Jordan Tross as well in that third spot. Dakota Reeder is just straight chilling in that fourth position. Nobody around him in that 85 machine. He is okay with that, right, in this position in this race. Down the backstretch now. Jordan Tross looks like he wants that spot back. He'll go to the low side of the 06, pushes the 06 up the racetrack, goes door to door here off of four. John Crosby still leading the way across the start finish line. A little bit of a wiggle out of the 73 there. Indicates he's getting just a tad bit loose. Also can't get that thing all the way to the low side there into 1 and 2. Looks as though pit stops could be right around the corner here, Jacob. Starting to see that wear just starting to play here. As now we're starting to go nose to tail. 1, 2, 3 here on the racetrack down the front stretch.
We'll see. We'll see how it all kind of pans out. We'll kind of ride on the nose of Ryan Philbrick at this. Oh,
Oh,
yeah, not Jordan. Excuse me, John's getting a little loose, and I think that's what's going to end up costing him that first plate. Oh, there you go. Well, we got Jordan on the outside, kind of creeping up too.
I just want to shout out again, no fast repairs here in the Tuesday Night Racing League as we're going to go
Three
through
wide.
the
Woo!
split. They're going to split the 73. Jordan Tross, the 79, will go high as the 06. Ryan Philbrick will go low. You go high, I go low. A little shake and bake action. Jordan Tross will take the bake and he'll lead us into 3 and 4. The 06 still trying to shake the 73. Can't do it right now as he's to the high side of the racetrack. Down the front stretch, new leader is Jordan Tross into one.
Jordan thought, Jordan was just kind of putting on a show for everyone. He started towards the back a little bit. And, let's see where he kind of started. Oh, no, he was our pole setter. I apologize.
And he lost the lead. It was kind of a rough start for the 79, as you know, the hottest racer right now. The 73 of John Crosby again gets loose off of four, was able to take that lead away. Checked out there for a minute, Jacob. But Jordan Tross, I would say he was maybe starting to maybe getting a little disappointed at his runs here the last couple weeks, and I'd say the 79 looks like a man on a mission here tonight.
Slab. Jordan ran a 23.8. John ran a 23.4. So yeah, I mean, I think Jordan was just saving, and now he's just kind of going to put the beat down on him, unfortunately.
As Crosby still looks at the inside, there goes Tross down the backstretch. Still our race leader, Cody Deacon, that 13 comes into your point of view. If you're watching a live with us here on YouTube, go ahead and like and subscribe to the page as you're watching along. We're week number 10 here in the Ratfink Racing League. It has been a very competitive season as the weeks are winding down. This is the short track run of this season. Of course, we're coming off a great race last week that saw Ryan Philbrick back to victory lane. Now it looks as though Jordan Tross wants to get his truck back into victory lane as the pole sitter is now our race leader. We saw John Crosby lead for just a little while. Ryan Philbrick looks very good here in this race. Dakota Reeder trying to get his second win of the season. Nate Lesko in that fifth position is trying to break through. Justin Clapper had his first win just a few weeks ago. We look at Schumann there in that seventh position, trying to break through in that 52 machine. Always has top 10 speed. Tom Ringer, we've talked about one of the most respectable racers on the racetrack, but Jacob, respect can only go so far. Sometimes you got to rub a little elbows to put that thing in victory lane. Riding pretty good though inside of that top 10. Justin carrying that 33 is showing some speed here the past couple weeks. Currently in that ninth spot, and the 97 machine is currently in that top 10.
Ooh, Dakota Reader slowly but surely creeping up to John Crosby as well. And man, I think John just ended up burning his tires up just out the gate. And so I think this is where this green flag run is going to kill a lot of guys because, we're on lap 60 of 150. So, we roughly have another 25 to 30 laps before I think a lot of these guys are going to pit. So I think, I mean, if I was one of them, and I I would probably do a little shortstop action, try and beat the cycle so they don't get caught up in traffic.
As you see, they're trying to go at each other like Shohei Otani and Mike Trout.
Oh,
Oh, a little swing and a miss there out of the 85. Gets a little loose as the '06 will go to the inside of the '73 machine. They'll go door to door on the apex of the corner. John Crosby just really trying to be like the Alabama Shakes and hold on to that spot as he is still sliding to the top side of the racetrack. Ryan Philbrick, if he can keep that thing on the low side, he'll take that spot as we are now 63 laps in a week number 10 on a Tuesday night.
check in with Mr. Tom Ringer, down 3 spots, but slowly but surely creeping back up on Brandon Schumann. See if he gets him on the bottom lane right here. Looks like Brandon kind of went up a little high, washed up some. We'll see if Tom can make that pass and go into 3 and 4, going towards the front stretch of the racetrack.
As the 68 still looks to the backside of the 52 across that start finish line. 64 laps in with green flag pit stops right around the corner. We're going to step aside for our first break of the evening. This is week number 10 from Richmond, the Radfink Racing League.
I don't know what's going on with my keyboard. Okay, there we go. Uh, no, no, I do not. Hmm. Mm, so okay, in 3, 2, 1.
We're back here live from Richmond, week number 10 of the Radfink Racing League Tuesday Night Truck Series. My name is William Tiller. I am joined up here by Jacob Williams. And Jacob, we saw John Crosby briefly take the lead, checked out, as you mentioned before we went to break there. Maybe used up his tires just a little bit there on that run. Jordan Tross got that lead and essentially has checked out here since taking that lead here on lap 71. The battles here in this race have really been inside of the top five, top 10. And we've indicated here as the season's starting to wind down, it's really going to be a battle for points. Although we might see Jordan Tross get back into victory lane, there is still a lot of points up for grabs.
Yeah, no, and as we're watching right now, John slowly but surely creeping his way back, and then Dakota Reader's right there on the backside of John Crosby at that point. We'll see if he ends up making that pass to get those points, and again, we'll pull this up to kind of see where Dakota stands in the top 15. He's in P11 at this point, roughly 85 points down. If he finishes in the top three, he'll only depending upon how everything shakes up, maybe be 60 points back, depending. But we'll see. Oh, there he goes. He's going to take that bottom lane from John at that point, going side by side out of two right there.
As he'll try to work to the inside of the newly sponsored W Energy machine. The 73 is getting pushed to the high side, and that's essentially how you have to pass here at Richmond. You have to put that nose to the low side, make sure the guy you're wanting to pass is to the high side, no matter what that guy can do. If you can keep him to that middle of the racetrack and just ride that momentum, there's not that is right there as the 73 gets loose off of two. Ryan Philbrick watching from afar. He knows how it feels to go back to back, trying to do that again here in week number 10. 73 machine here. Jacob here on the end of this run. You can see him just really trying to fight that truck, just trying to hold position as he knows that green flag pit stops are right around the corner. You don't want to lose too many spots before everybody else has to pit as well.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Cause let's take a look. Everyone is roughly 75 laps, so they're coming up on that pit window. Ooh, John in the wall at that point. Yeah, I think yeah, John's burnt his tires up. He is struggling trying to keep that thing straight. Unfortunately.
If he can just hold on here towards the end of this run, he might be okay. Because, folks, if you've been watching live with us here on YouTube, there has been no cautions, no pit stops yet, as the 73 looks as though he wants to bring one out as he is very loose off of four. And again, three sets of tires, so no tires have been used here just yet here as we're on lap 77. 73 machine of John Crosby, once our race leader fighting his truck here. As we'll check back in inside of the top 15. There's Thomas winning the 71. He's in a battle with the 97 machine. And I would have to say there, Jacob, a lot of these guys still in the race because no caution flags yet. And I'd be very surprised to see us go totally green throughout. And maybe you can play some strategy here now. You know this is going to be quite a clean race. Maybe jump these pit stops a little bit, maybe gamble on these runs.
No, it's we'll see how it all pans out. Whenever they start pitting, the race leaders, it's going to be how fast can you get out of pit lane at that point before the guy behind you ends up catching up to you. And another thing that everyone has to be careful about, this is a shorter track. So what that means is, pit entry is going to be shorter. Right now, we have guys entering the pits. We have Jordan Trask, Justin Clapper, Tom Ringer entering the pits, and so hopefully no one ends up speeding on the pits. Because where I was going with this is, since it's a shorter track, the pit entrance is much shorter, and I mean, if you come flying in there, you can get yourself a black flag and have to serve a penalty. Oh, right there!
Absolutely.
Oh, right there!
Oh no! As the 73 slams the right corner panel into the water buckets there on the entry of pit road. That's going to be heavy, heavy damage to the 73 machine. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The pit entrance is super short, and if you come in a little too hot, and that's what I think what was happening with John. Oh, see now, John's combobulated. He's a little frustrated. Came in pits a little too hot, and trying to slow down, and you lock those brakes up. Got the back in. Oh, we got a crash. Colton Jackson has crashed. Let's see what happened.
Colton Jackson there brings out our first caution of the night.
I don't think I don't think a caution. No, since it
No caution.
yeah, no caution. Since it was just him, no caution.
Good save. Good save out of Colton there. Good drive. Gets a little loose. He understands that. Gets that thing back straight. He's rocking and rolling. As it looks like, though, those green flag pit stops are starting to flow through. We've already had a little chaos there on that first window. And Jacob, I wanted to mention as we watch these guys here at the end of their runs, check out Jordan Tross being one of the favorites all season long, being one of the great drivers here week in and week out. A little interesting fact for those watching live with us here on YouTube. Jordan Tross hasn't won since January 27th
Ooh,
at Rockingham. It's been that long as we see some guys squeeze down pit road like
yeah.
Ryan Philbrick and Dakota Reader in the 85. It has been almost a month and a half since we've seen Jordan Tross win here in this series. And when he won, Jacob, he won it at Rockingham, a similar track to here at Richmond. He led 80 laps in that race and started on the pole as well. So keep that in mind as the race ticks down.
Yeah, no, be interested to see if how this all shakes back up with everyone coming out, and then again, guys on older tires. I thought David Bersecki was going to end up rear-ending Zachary Wynn at that point. um,
It's getting wild.
I know.
These green flag pit stops are getting wild.
Yeah, no, and you got Brian Sousa entering right here, and there goes Jordan towards the front. But no, where I was going with this is, I'll be interested to see at this point, with the fresh tires, how the lap traffic is going to play a factor in front of the race leaders at this point, because it looks like behind. Jordan, you have Cody D kind of holding up a little bit of traffic. Is that is getting loose right there. That is the 32 of Keith Vaughn. Kind of looks like he's got some old tires and it's kind of burnt up and looks like he just needs to enter the pits at that point.
As we watch the board start to shuffle here, 87 laps into this race. There's Vaughn and Deek. That's the 13. That's the 32 machine. Here at Richmond, week number 10. Jordan Tross started on the pole, briefly gave up that lead to John Crosby in the 73, who took some damage there, heading down pit road for the first time in this race, folks. Oh, caution's out. First caution of the night has waved here at Richmond.
Caution is out. Let's take a look at this.
Oh, is that battle we were keeping an eye on?
Yeah, Cody Deek and Keith. Oh, he just got loose. Oh, it just barely saved it. Barely saved it. Yeah.
13 is going to hit the inside wall there down the backstretch. Going to bring out, surprisingly, our first caution of the night here. Lap 87. Going to ride on board here. Instant replay of what happened to Cody Deek in that 13 coming off of corner number 2.
I just got loose. All it was. Yep. Mm. Ooh. Oh, he barely tapped the wall. Good for him.
Nice little love tap on the inside wall, if you will, for Cody Deek in that 13. That really puts a kind of a shuffle in things there, Jacob, as we were watching these green flag pit stops start to ensue, and I think we saw about 3 waves go through. So I think some guys are going to get a little bit lucky there, be able to head down pit road on that caution flag. Other guys have already gone down pit road, are ready to rock. As it looks like though, Jordan Tross will head back down pit road there in the 79. Maybe forgot something there on that first stop.
It's kind of interesting to see Jordan entering pit lane because he he took 4 tires last stop. So I wonder if he got a black flag. Yeah, a drive-through penalty at that point. Let's see. Let's see if that updates and see what he ends up getting. Oh no, he ended up getting more tires.
If the shoe fits, I suppose, for the 79. And it looks as though maybe he's figuring this race is going to stay green. So the fresher the set of tires, the better. On that run, he did have a few laps on those tires, I guess, there. Jacobs, maybe just a little strategic move out of the 79. I can't question what he does. Started on the pole,
Ah.
is leading the race there on that pit stop. So, he's a pretty good driver.
Yeah, no, I think it's one of those things. He 9 times out of 10 with the guys staying out, they're going to be on older tires, and I think Jordan knows he has the pace to be able to climb towards the front of the pack. Because right now he's only currently 10th. So I think he ended up just getting new shoes to be able to creep his way up towards the front.
As the pace lights are off of our first caution of the night, it's going to be John Crosby, Nate Lesko, Dakota Reader, Ryan Philbrick, Justin Clapper, Tom Ringer, Justin Carey, and that man, the 79 of Jordan Tross, going to be our top 10 on this restart as we get a behind the scene point of view of that man starting on the outside. That's the 73 machine of John Crosby. A little bit of a check up there on the restart. Keep it clean as Nate Lesko, our race leader, will take us into 1 and 2 as the battle for third rages on. The 73 will look to the high side as we come roaring off of the corner. Nate Lesko leading the way, but the battle is for second, third, and fourth. They'll go door to door into 3 and 4.
No, and then we have Justin Clapper. He was in the back of the pack, but man, he stays in the fight. He's a dog. He's an absolute dog, especially now with rocking the new Dodge Ram truck. I'm sure he's ready to throw his elbow. No, and there's Tom Ringer right there next to him. And again, he's another fellow that's not afraid to throw his elbows out either. We'll kind of take a on board ride with Justin Clapper at that point, taking that lower lane.
What's a ram sound like, Jacob? Rum, 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 rum. Is that what it
Oh.
sounds like as the ram truck just sort of gets rammed out of the way, but he keeps it cool as he gets to the low side of the racetrack?
Oh, that's that freaking commentator's curse right there. We were applauding him, and oh man, it looks like he's just struggling to get on the gas at that point. Now he's, oh, whoo.
33, Justin Carey now comes into picture, but the 63 looks like, no, he'll keep it together as we cross that start-finish line. He is inside of that top 10 with a great run here tonight, as now he is in a battle as the 33 of Justin Carey will look to the inside off of two down the backstretch. This is for a battle for seven on the racetrack. Just in that shot as well, we see Todd Perrant going to bookend the top 10 of that 69 as the 33 gets a little loose, but now we'll jump up to the top side of the grid. This is for second as Ryan Philbrick will take that spot away from the 73 of John Crosby.
Ooh.
There's Jordan Tross now back into the mix as well with the fresh set of freshies on that thing as he's to the low side of the 73. He is a man on a mission, just as I said before that caution flag flew. He'll try a little BOGO action here if he can get around the 73. He'll try to make quick work of the '06 as well.
Like I said, on that restart, Jordan started in the 10th position, and Jordan with those fresh shoes, I can see him. I can see him taking the lead at this point. But man, hopefully Ryan can hold him off and kind of put up a little bit more of a fight, just to where he doesn't let Jordan just have it. Essentially,
As Forrest Gump once said, I like my new shoes. And Jordan Tross likes his new shoes, and they are good for running. And boy, is he running up the grid right now as he'll run by the '06 Ryan Philbrick. Jordan Tross now up to second into 1 and 2, trying to catch our leader, Nate Lesko, in the 20. As now looks as though Dakota Reeder will go around the 73 as well down the backstretch.
and then just we're gonna ride on board with John here right now, just because I feel like John is just fighting his truck the entire race. Look at it. I mean, he's super loose, and so I want to take a look as well. John, I mean, he's on 20 set, 20 lap old tires, and he took four of them. So I just don't understand why he's fighting it. See, look at the wheel just go back and forth. He's just fighting it coming out of exit on 2 and 4. Let's just see right there. Yeah, see, he's just fighting it the entire time. Mm, mm-mm.
You see, he can't really get that thing to the low side either, so that's just going to be a tough ride all the way around. You saw him loose again there off of two. Check back up here with this battle for second. Dakota Reeder and the '06 Ryan Philbrick. This is for third. This is for that last spot on the podium. As the 85 will knock on the inside, will jump just back the grid a little bit more. Check back in here. That's Ryan Sousa in the 60, and that Bucky's machine, the 90, will go door to door there off of two.
Then you got Zachary Wynn right behind him, just waiting for one of these guys to make a mistake. At this point, we'll see if Zachary will take that lower lane or Bucky's machine almost came down into the top of Zachary at that point. Let's see, Zachary ended up taking that spot from him. Now let's see if he can get the spot. A little loose out of exit, and out of two.
And folks, these are guys that are just on the tail end of the lead lap as well. We saw Colton Jackson, the 28, have that spin out, so we'd have to assume he was the last truck on that lead lap. But then, of course, we look at the win right there. Zachary Wynn trying to hold on to that lead lap. Gary Wright in that 90. Brian Seuss in the 60 to 92 of David Bersecki. If you can hold on to that lead lap as well, that will give you a top 15 finish. So plenty of time to sort things out as Todd Perrant currently trying to get inside of the top 10, currently in the 11th position. He has Thomas Wynn in the 71 right behind him.
Point, you got Todd Perrant and David Bersecki, but David Bersecki is a lap down. But we'll see because we have David Bersecki, Brian Sousa, and then I think at that point it is Thomas Wynn from there. No, Thomas is a little bit further back, but we'll see. We'll see if he can get some more momentum and get closer towards Todd at that point. And then speaking of the Win brothers, Mama Win, like always, she always tunes in every week, every race. Family sounds like wives tune in to the broadcast. Of the Wynn family. And Mama Wynn said Reggie Wynn is watching too, which is the father of Thomas Wynn and Zachary Wynn. Thomas literally grew up and growing to the local tracks, playing in the pits with the other drivers' kids and watching his dad race week after week. That's pretty awesome. And again, they're always a hot topic week after week because, again, Mama Wynn's always tuning in. Appreciate you tuning in, Mama Wynn. And let's hopefully one of these weeks we can see the boys get a podium. But if not a podium this week, let's see if Thomas or Zachary can get a podium, or not a podium finish, but a top 10.
Yeah, they're just outside of the top 10 with Thomas winning the 71 machine, currently in that 12th position. Best laps so far here tonight was a 22.3. Last time by was a 23.1. So showing some really good speed here tonight at Richmond. Man, also showing a lot of speed here tonight is our new race leader. Or should I say, just resumed that race lead once again. Jordan Tross is now taking the lead from Nate Lesko, the 79 machine, back to where it all began, and that's in the pole position as our race leader in that Arc Raider machine down the backstretch takes us into 3 and 4, just trying to make some dinner reservations as he looks like he's a man on a mission.
No, roughly he has almost a full second lead on Nate at this point. And again, I think that's what we have come to a conclusion to of why Jordan ended up entering the pits on that last caution. I think it's just because he knew he had the momentum, even with old set of tires, and he just said, "Screw it, let's roll the dice, let's go get some fresh tires and climb our way towards the front." Because Nate is roughly on 31 lap old tires, so yeah, I mean Jordan's going to have the advantage at this point, unless if another caution comes out and everyone pits at this point, then it's every man for himself.
Nate Lesko currently in that second spot. And Jacob, you can really see the rest of that top five in that next shot with Nate Lesko, Dakota Rita, Ryan Philbrick. They're all pretty close to one another there inside of the top five. But every man there is just trying to search for our race leader, the 79 machine of Jordan Tross. And a good run here tonight with the 33 machine of Justin Carey, who's currently inside of the top five. He's up 15 spots to drop with the green flag, but he does look a little loose off of that corner there, but a good run here so far.
Yeah, no, and it was awesome to see last week, in his in car view because on that open dog leg, whenever you would hit that bottom apron, you could see how rough it is. And whenever you do the cockpit view, you can kind of tell, but it was kind of nice to see, especially with this wheelbase. I mean, you could tell how much of a bear it is to wrestle that thing because it was shaking his entire camera feed, and it was pretty cool to see at that point.
Yeah, you really got to jam that wheel all the way to the left side to get that thing to stick on that yellow line. And we love that these drivers give us this point of view to really see how intense and really what it takes to drive these trucks. Some folks at home are unfamiliar with iRacing or what simulation racing is, and it's about as close as you can get from being inside a real race car. All these rigs are set up with force feedback. No fast repairs here in this league. That means damage on your truck is going to stay there unless you get that thing repaired. And for Justin Carey, a racetrack like this, you're going to walk away and you're going to shake those arms out, Jacob. This is going to be quite the workout.
Yeah, no, and you're not wrong. Speaking of working out, Nate has his workout cut out for him because right now we have Dakota Reader wanting to take that lower lane and get that second position from Nate. And yeah, no, he takes it from him at that point. Ooh.
Looks as though he did not like that as he's to the inside of the 85s, just trying to put up a fight there for the spot. But the more he tries to fight, it's just like quicksand. You're just going to sink further and further as the 06er Ryan Philbrick now to the high side of the racetrack. As we're down the backstretch, but a little bit of a hiccup there at the 85. He's going to lose some speed into 3 and 4.
No, then you got right behind him is Ryan Philbrick taking the outside line, just passing by Nate at that point.
Good move out of the 06. And folks, although Jordan Tross looks as though this is going to be his win here tonight, I don't want to put the commentators curse on him. Still a lot of points to be had right here. Jacob, I may have right there. But still a lot of points to be had amongst these guys as this season is starting to wind down. You still want to try to hard charge your way and maybe make a run at the title. You might not have the most wins, but maybe the top podiums, top fives, and maybe get a late season win there at the end could really put you in the picture. And for Ryan Philbrick, he could be one of those guys. Dakota Reeder, of course, needs a big jump in those points, but it could be that here tonight with another podium finish as Jordan Tross gets around Cody Deek there in that 13 machine. Cody Deek having a rough night here at Richmond. 122 laps of 150 here on a Tuesday night. We are live here on YouTube. This is William Tiller joined by Jacob Williams. And Jacob, we saw it last week. It was quite a display of racing out of Ryan Philbrick, and I think here tonight it's really the Jordan Tross show here on a Tuesday night.
No, I think you are 100% correct because at this point, Jordan has a second and a half lead on pretty much on everyone. On Dakota Reader, second, a second and 7/10, and then behind that is two seconds and 2.26 at that point. Unless if a late caution comes out from some like a self spin or maybe some guys in the back of the pack kind of fighting it out. I unfortunately, not unfortunately, congrats to Jordan. It's been a little bit since he's been our first place finisher. Uh, yeah, I would say I think Jordan has this one in the bag.
Yeah, and for the 79 machine, I mentioned it as we were in that green flag pit stop run. As dominant as he has been this season, has not seen victory lane since late January. So it's been a while for the 79, but that victory came at a track similar to this, Rockingham. So, he's similar to this short track racing style, the 79 machine. It's really going to help him in the points. And we've only had a couple lead changes and a caution. One caution. This will have to be a Ratfink record so far here on a Tuesday night. Jacob, usually we're in double digits or at least creeping towards that number. Only one caution flag with less than 24 laps to go.
Yeah, no, that's like you said. The past couple of races, there's been a good fair amount of cautions on those shorter tracks, and we love to see everyone out there. But man, it's super tough whenever you have a lot of competitive drivers. And then I want to say last week was a 28 truck field, and then the week before was 30. The week before that was 29. So I mean, it was larger fields, and guys just trying to force their way towards the front. But I think now everyone is they got the super speedways out of their system, and now it's just let's get back to clean racing at that point.
About clean racing as that is a battle for second. I do want to shout out the 71 machine of Thomas Wynn, who now finds himself inside of the top 10. Shout out to the 71. Justin Clapper is just ahead of him, but you look at that 71 machine with a great run as the winds always tune in here on a Tuesday night. Finds himself, as you mentioned there, Jacob, inside of that top 10. Good run here so far as we're counting down the laps.
No, good run for Thomas, and hopefully we don't put the commentator's curse on him because it looked like he just got a little loose right there coming out of two. But good for him, especially with all the family tuning in and watching. It's always it's always a good feeling to finish well. Yeah, it's not a podium, but at least this time it's in the top 10. He wasn't taken out or he didn't take himself out, so it's it's always a good feeling.
It is absolutely a good feeling to finish inside of that top 10. We're starting to see those lap times, though, starting to creep towards the 24s. And one of those guys that is just ahead of the Thomas Wynn in the 71 who could really benefit from some of these guys struggling. The 73 machine of John Crosby starting to see those lap times really tick up instead of down. Brandon Schumann in the 52, same way with a 23.5 last time by. Todd Perrott in the 69 with a 23.5. But Thomas Wynn's lap time's 23.3, so you could see Thomas Wynn maybe gain a couple more positions here. These laps tick down as the 52, 73, 69 really struggling here at Richmond.
Yeah, this is. I wonder if John has like wheel damage or something. I mean, because again, he started. I think it was a second. Nope. He started. Yeah, yeah,
Incorrect there.
yeah. He started second, and now he's in eighth. So I wonder if he has some sort of like wheel damage going on. I'd be curious to pull him into the booth probably towards the end of the race and kind of pick his brain on what happened.
Yeah, we did see him take that hard shot to the water buckets as he tried to get down pit road. That
Oh
could have come
yeah.
into play. Yeah, maybe he didn't repair it all the way just in hopes to get that thing back out on the racetrack as he comes off the corner here. Just maybe just trying to hold on to a top 10 finish, I'd have to assume there, Jacob.
No, I completely forgot about that. Yeah, he did come in a little hot on that pit entry at that point, and he did smoke the water barrels.
He did absolutely gave them a nice little tap as we look at how this top 10 is forming down as the laps are ticking down. Keep an eye out on the top 10 as the 97 machine of Tony Burleson is in that 11th position. Thomas Wynn in that 10th spot. Justin Clapper currently in ninth. You see John Crosby in that 8th spot. Todd Perront 7th. Brandon Schumann 6th. Justin Carey in the top 5. Same thing with Nate Lesko. Dakota Reeder currently in that 3rd spot. Ryan Philbrick in 2nd. And the man of the hour so far, the 79 machine of Jordan Tross, leading the way here live on YouTube here on a Tuesday night, the Rat Think Racing League. And we mentioned the last time that we saw the 79 machine in victory lane was back in January. So it will feel good for the 79 to see if he can claim the victory here tonight. But I'd have to say his worst nightmare, of course, Freddy Krueger is frightening. So is Jason, but a yellow flag could be even more of a nightmare on Elm Street for that 79.
Man, we roughly have 12 laps to go. What a nightmare that would be, because at that point everyone would have fresh tires, and it's full steams ahead for every guy out there, because Ryan hasn't been involved in any cautions or wrecks, or neither Dakota Reader at that point. They don't have any damage compared to John. So Mr.
And I don't mean to cut you off there, Jacob, but it
Yeah, no,
looks
you're
like he
good.
may have scraped the wall just a little bit there.
Yeah, no, that's abnormal from Jordan at that point. There's a little time. There's sometimes he gets a little squirrely, but not little inconsistent mistakes like that. Because I mean, he is running by himself, and normally I mean, pretty consistent.
As we watch the entry into 3 and 4, I'm going to see last time I was at 23.3 as he comes up on Zachary Wynn there. Check out those lap times 23.3 last time by. So it didn't affect the 79 too much. Maybe just aggravated him a little bit there behind the wheel. As Thomas Wynn still holding down that 10th spot. Justin Clapper and John Crosby are now battling out for that ninth position, 8th spot there on that grid. As the laps are ticking that down, less than 9 laps to go, we'll check back in inside of that top 10 as the 63 machine of Justin Clapper will look to the inside of the 73. They're creeping up to the 13 of Cody Deek. Oh, this could maybe brew up that caution flag we were talking about here in the late stages of this race.
You got Justin and John going side by side. This is a nice little. Ooh, and John almost ran into the back end of Cody Deek at that point. Man, oh,
Oh, no.
yeah. Let's see what happened. Yeah.
Oh, as the 13s on the high side of the racetrack, the 73
Three
machine
wide,
trying to
three
get that
wide.
side split. Oh, my goodness. Wow, as the 73 survives it, we see David Bersecki right there as well in the 92 machine. Justin Clapper drives out of that, and we see all the facial expressions there from the driver's point of view. What a drive out of Justin Clapper and John get a spot gained inside of that leaderboard. As now John Crosby really has to keep that thing together here as he's fighting some lap traffic.
Yeah, roughly Thomas Wynn is he's about 3 seconds behind John at that point, but we'll see if he can end up creeping his way up. And oh, he's getting so loose. Oh man! Not only do you have wheel damage, you have old tires, so it's a bad recipe. I mean, it's like wrestling an alligator out there right now.
See him coming off of two.
Oh,
Oh my goodness! Wow, that 73 is on ice skates out here.
yeah, he's
Looking like Alyssa Liu just doing backspins off of four. Oh my goodness. See if he can hang on here as we're into one and two as Jordan Tross still leading the way now by about 2.5 seconds. The real question is that caution flag gonna fly and who will bring it out as we have just about 4 laps to go here. Jordan Tross comes off of two into three and four. Has been just a dominant performance out of the 79. That's the 52 of Brandon Schumann, Todd Perront. They're going to battle for sixth here as the 52 gets loose off of two. But now with 3 laps to go, throw up those threes. Rest in peace to Dale Earnhardt because it looks as though the 79 machine is going to put on an intimidating performance here at Richmond as he comes down the front stretch. Make it now 2 laps to go into one and two.
we'll see if we get a late caution or anything. Let's kind of go back to John Crosby and see if he's still fighting it. And then, I mean, Thomas Wynn is creeping up. Roughly a 2.26 gap. We'll see if excuse me. If Thomas can, no, it's last lap, unfortunately. But at this point, Thomas gets a top 10 at that point.
As the white flag waves, the 79 looks as though he'll claim the victory. Ryan Philbrick's going to hold down that second spot as we'll watch the 79 take his victory lap into the corner. Quite a dominant performance as the 79 comes off of four. He claims the checkered flag here at Richmond. His first victory since January, and it feels so good as he just goes wire to wire from the pole to victory lane. What a performance out of Jordan Tross.
The good old Canadian gets a W tonight.
And it just feels so good to get back into victory lane. One of the most consistent drivers, I'd have to say, one of those drivers that you measure up to week in and week out. If I can beat the 79, then I've done a great job. And now the 79 shows here tonight why he is indeed that measuring stick. I'd have to assume he leads the most laps here tonight with a battle with the 73 machine of John Crosby. And now you have to think not only is the 79 back into victory lane, but could be in discussion for being our season champion if he continues this dominant performance.
Yeah, no, we'll see at that point. Roughly, we'll pull this back up one more time. Yeah, I mean we're on week 10. We have 4 more weeks. Whew, I don't know. Ryan Philbrick finished in second, so I mean that point lead will still stay the same. So, phew, mm, 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 mm.
Quite an absolute battle we have towards the end of this championship season. But it is Jordan Tross taking it home. As you mentioned, Ryan Philbrick keeps those consistent drives going, finishing second. Dakota Reeder third. Nate Lesko with a top five. He is one of those guys to look out for here to break through maybe in those late race stages. Justin Carey finishes in the top five. Brandon Schumann, great run out of him, top 10. Todd Perront, seventh. Justin Clapper, another great run out of the 63 in eighth. John Crosby is able to hold that thing together. Boy, he was driving on ice skates towards the end. Finishes in ninth. And shout out to the wins. We did it! As Thomas Wynn comes home with a top 10 performance, and we'll clap it up here in the broadcast booth as that was a drive out of the the 71 machine. And only one caution here tonight. Jacob just makes these results even more sweeter for all these drivers.
I know that's the thing. A lot of these guys, clean racers, and it's good to see one caution back into the mix of it all. But yeah, no, it's nice to see a lot of green flag runs at that point. The part of me that I would love to keep the broadcast interesting. I wish there was a couple more, but also from an admin point of view, I'm like, it was nice. It was nice seeing it cleaned up this week.
Yeah, of course, for the admins, kind of makes your job easy. There's less footage to have to review, less incidences you have to review as well. But we did see some craziness with those green flag pit stops with John Crosby. I think that damage did really come into play. He was a top three truck, I'd have to say, before that damage. Bumped him down the grid, made him very, very loose there towards the end of that run. Really had to hold that thing together. With one caution flag, it made the race very technical. If you can get out to the lead, low side of the racetrack, saw a lot of battles inside of that top five and inside of that top 10. Was the split between the five, between the six, seven, eight, nine, 10 spots, but that's all right. It was great racing all around, especially inside of that top five and inside of our podium. But I believe it is time to catch up with our podium finishers and a guy who has been in victory lane here this season. Jacob, I believe you're catching up with Dakota Reeder in the 85.
Yes, sir. Dakota, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, how does it feel to be back on the podium, sir?
Oh man, yeah, it's been tough grinding there. I've been wrecked in a lot of these recent races here.
Ooh, you're not lying about that one. That's what Mr. Will and I were talking about. How the past couple of races that we've had, it's been a little bit kind of caution filled. The last truck race we had about 30 to 31 guys. The one before that was anywhere between 28 to 29. So just kind of take us through your mentality and how the race went through tonight, and kind of what your strategy was, and then how you got back up on the podium.
Yeah, so I joined the league I think it was 3 weeks after it started. So my first race wasn't until week 4, and I took a challenge of like, I think I can get to the top 3 if I could just win some races, and really feel like I should have won IRP and had a chance at Atlanta, and I wrecked. I think last week was a really good track for me, and just like didn't capitalize on those. So Um, now my mindset switched to just I need to finish in front of Jordan and Ryan. Those are the two guys that finished in front of me tonight. So that's the way it goes. But yeah, I was in kind of tired, just save mode for the first run, and I was pretty fast towards the end, and then I just couldn't get around Ryan and John. So that last caution came out, and I was only on like 2 or 3 lap tires, so I thought I'd be okay. But I was wrong. Jordan took new tires. I probably should have done the same, and the rest is history. But I'm good with top 3. Just wish I would have been here at the start of the season.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, and we were going through the point standings at that point. You're currently 11th. I mean, you're not too far down, but I mean, especially with starting getting involved in the league at week 4. Yeah, it's been six races, but I would say you're doing a lot better than most, if you ask me. But
I appreciate it.
uh, yeah, no. So just kind of what were the adjustments that you had to kind of make through the race to kind of get you towards the front? Again, like you had said, it was kind of more of a tire saving, strategy. But was that lower lane helping you the most, or was the top lane? Because I saw some guys getting a lot of momentum on that outside lane, shockingly.
Yeah, I've always been a short entry guy at Richmond. I don't know why. It's just what feels comfortable to me. And so I've always just tried to hit the yellow line with my left side tires, not getting on the apron, but just trying to get the grip on the bottom to wrap the corner. And it
Hmm.
was really hard to do that tonight because the truck was so tight. So really the adjustments were just brake bias as low as it can go, and try not to spin the rear end on the entry. So um, yeah, I don't know. There was a couple times that I would get up on the outside, and you could definitely see the lap time get better on the straights, but I just didn't feel comfortable enough to feel like that was going to work over 50, 60 laps, and so I just migrated back to the bottom.
Gotcha. 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 Well, Mr. Will, you have anything for Dakota?
Well, Dakota, as we just mentioned there, you're kind of a little bit behind on those points. How does it feel, though, as we have about 4 or 5 races left? Although maybe the points title maybe isn't in play, you could still sort of play spoiler and make some splashes here in the last 4 or 5 races this season.
Yeah, I think my goal now is just trying to get to the top 5. And who knows if I can win. I just got to win the next 5 races, guys. I'll be in really good shape. Yeah, but I think I've actually really enjoyed the league. So my plan is to whenever they go back again, I'll probably try and hop in for the whole season next time. So yeah,
Love to
Ooh.
hear it. Love to hear it. As you heard it at home there, folks, Jacob, we could maybe book the 85 into next season.
I know. I'm looking forward to it as well, and hopefully we can convince Mr. Tom Ringer to. I know a lot of the guys like the chase, format, but I also like. I like the playoff situation because it just allows a little bit more variety, a little bit more of a challenge, I guess you could say, towards the back of the season, especially with you Dakota only coming in, at week 4. But if you were, with this finish, I think it would put you in that top 10. If we were to have playoffs at that point, you would have a chance to win the championship. So maybe we can talk Mr. Tom Ringer and switching it up for us.
yeah. While you're at it, maybe you can just ask him if he could spot me 3 race points as well, and I'll be right back in this thing.
I'll run that by him as well. Well, Dakota, you got any shout outs to any teammates or sponsors or any loved ones or anything?
Yeah, this is the only race, the only league I run by myself. So, KPR Motorsports, it's the team I own and of course drive for. So, shout out to anybody of my friends or on the team listening. Appreciate you guys. Thanks to my wife who takes care of our 2 little ones while I play a video game essentially on Tuesday nights. So, appreciate her and the good Lord above for allowing me the ability to do this. So, thank you guys for broadcasting.
Some thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
See you guys.
That was Dakota Reader, the number 85, with that podium finish. And good news to hear, folks. If you're a fan of the 85, looks as though he might be back next season. Season's not over yet. Plenty of time for the 85 to make a splash down the road. But right now, it is time to catch up with a man who is still in that championship hunt and still with a performance here tonight. Another top 3 performance, a top 2, if you will, in the oh 06 of Ryan Philbrick. We come just one position short of going back to back again here in a Tuesday night. Ryan, take us through what was probably the most cleanest race we've had all season.
Yeah, that's what I want to say first off. Kudos to the whole league. That's crazy. Was it one caution?
Uh,
One
yeah, it was.
caution, 150 laps at Richmond. That's pretty impressive. So, but
Yeah,
also not. I did not expect that. So that was a little bit took a little bit of adapting the game plan there for sure.
that's good. That's good. No, it was that's what we were talking with Dakota. He was discussing that he had been kind of involved in some late cautions in some previous races, and even he said the same thing. He was like, man, he was like at Richmond, it was kind of a shocker as well, and that
Major
one caught.
shocker.
Yeah, it was just that one caution was just a self spin, and really no one was involved in that. So, I mean, if you kind of want to, really get positive, I mean, it was really just self spin at the end of the day, and I don't even really know why the caution got called out at that point too. But with that being said, Ryan, with tonight's race, kind of take us through your mentality and how you kind of progress through the field and kind of your strategy and everything. Because at this point, it was a two stop run essentially with that late caution, and we saw Jordan take late tires. Do you feel like you did the right strategy and ultimately it just kind of came back and bit you, or do you wish you would have taken tires? Kind of walk us through that.
No, I'm glad with my decision. I think I was having a harder time passing than he was for sure. He came through the pack, and I don't know if I would have had the same luck. And he kind of outclassed us today, anyways. I think even without the decision, he probably had it. But I mean, still a good choice on his part, obviously. But I'm yeah, I wouldn't change my mind on that.
Yeah. Now, would you say, especially with, not having a lot of cautions, the tire wear at that point, was it easier to run the bottom lane or that outside groove? Kind of, what did you feel most comfortable running lane wise?
Um, 1 and 2, it was like really late apex, try to come straight off the bottom. Just tried to not overdrive the entry. It was burning right front pretty bad. Uh, and then 3 and 4 later in the race, it's kind of similar line, but the top seemed to come in. It was just hard to pass. If someone got to your outside, you were pretty much done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Will, you have anything for Ryan at that point?
Yeah, Ryan, before we close out here, as I mentioned when we came into the interview, you keep this consistent run going. I just came just one position short of going back to back. This championship title hunt couldn't be any closer as we only have about 4 or 5 races to go. What really is the mindset every week? Of course, we're checker flagging it every single week, but is it really? Are we points hunting or are we playing it cautious here the last 4 or 5 races? How are we playing it out?
It's a balance of both because I mean, like tonight, I tried to stay out as long as I could just to lead a lap because I was like I might not get another chance to get that bonus point, but that didn't end up happening. But at the same time, just I mean, I'd rather finish second than 22nd because I tried to push to do something dumb. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, and it's paying off so far this season as it's going to be basically you and Jordan Tross battling it out for that championship title down the stretch. But of course, as we love to give these podium finishers that opportunity, Ryan, is there anybody that you would like to shout out or give credit to putting you on that podium once again?
Well, I just want to thank the league, RFRL, great guys, for dealing with everything and doing everything they do. You guys for the broadcast, all the guys that come out. It's a good group of guys. I mean, I think we proved that doing 150 laps with one caution.
Oh,
Uh,
did we
yeah,
lose you, Ryan?
yeah, I got you.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think we lost Ryan. Ryan, you got a copy?
yeah, I'm here. Yeah, then just my team, Bad Company Racing, Clean Cut Painting,
I think
teammates.
we lost Ryan at that point, Will.
Still
Well, I think ladies and gentlemen, I do believe we lost Will as well. So, with that being said, we will go ahead and pull up our race winner, Jordan Trass, up into the broadcast booth. Jordan, you have a copy?
I got a copy.
Well, how does it feel to be back on that number one spot after a couple months of not coming in that first place?
Yeah, it feels great. That was a lot of fun tonight. Really clean race overall, and had a great run tonight.
Heck yeah. So now kind of walk us through, we asked Dakota and Ryan both essentially the same question. With there only really being one caution, talk us through your strategy at that point because we did see you before the caution enter the pits and then after that caution go back into the pits, grab a fresh set of tires. Like kind of walk us through that and what your mindset was.
Yeah, I was really hoping not to see the caution. Had a solid lead before that, and was just hoping to keep cruising. But once that caution came out, I knew it was going to be almost impossible for me to win the race if I didn't go on an off strategy. I had about then I think it was Ryan and Dakota had a few maybe 1 or 2 lap older than him, but I knew I would have been on defense and I would have really struggled to hold them off and I wouldn't have won the race. So I put myself in an off strategy, and there being only 11 people on the lead lap, it really helped me there because I only started back in 11th, and I was able to make my way through the field and we didn't have any more cautions and I was able to hold on for that win.
Yeah. How does it finally feel to get a couple of green flag runs at that point?
Yeah, that was awesome. That's probably the best race I've ever had at Richmond in iRacing, and it was a lot of fun. Really clean. I don't think I had contact with a single car tonight. That was awesome.
That's good. That's good. Now, with that being said, when we've talked about it, you're leading the point standings, and roughly with about 4 or 5 more races left, we'll see if Ryan can catch you towards the end. But do you think there's going to be much of a chance from the other competitors to kind of put you on your toes at that point?
It really comes down to if I can finish the races. If I get caught up in a wreck, there's definitely a good chance they could beat me and catch me. But if I can keep putting up finishes in the top five, I don't really think there's much of a chance. So as long as I can keep it in the race and be smart about my racecraft, I feel like I should be able to hold on.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, is there anyone that you would like to give a shout out to, or any sponsors or teammates or anything?
Yeah, huge thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast. It's always fun to watch these back, and thanks to everyone at Ratfink and who puts these races on. It's really awesome to see all the work that Chuck does with the website and Tom putting up all these races, and it's been a lot of fun running this season. And looking forward to finishing it out, and probably the league I look forward to the most each week. And thanks to everyone who puts them on, and hopefully we can keep the clean racing going forward.
Well, we appreciate you coming out, Jordan, and always competing at the highest level and always keeping it clean. I think Will is having some technical difficulties. Will, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I
there
can
you
be
are.
with you here with Jordan, and congratulations, Jordan. A great victory here tonight, man. And I'm sure Jacob alluded to it there. Just put on a show for all of us here on a Tuesday night, and I can't wait to see what you have in store for us next week.
Sounds fun. I think we're at Darlington, so that should be a tough track to tame.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Ooh,
here we go. We've heard that before.
Yeah.
perfect.
A great run, Jordan. Congratulations on the victory.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You do the same.
That was the 79 machine of Jordan Tross and Jacob. That was a great take there out of the 79 machine. Although knows he's in the championship hunt, knows he has to keep up these performances like tonight to keep that title in his grasp, essentially.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a tight battle between him and Ryan, and hopefully Ryan can get a couple of first place finishes where at this point, he can keep Jordan on his toes because again, Jordan is a younger fella, and sometimes I'm a little bit older than what he is, but I'm very much of an old soul, so I always like it whenever the older guys kind of rub on the younger guys a little just to kind of ruffle their feathers and just put them on their toes essentially and just kind of like just give them a challenge.
Absolutely, as it seems like every week is a challenge for these drivers here on a Tuesday night. Jacob is as the one running train. The common denominator, as you mentioned in this race, is we had one caution flag for 150 laps. That is quite the feat. And I think the caution flag we did have, Jacob, was one that could actually come into question. It wasn't really a caution; it was just a simple spin out that the caution flag decided to fly.
No, that's I'm very curious as to why that came out because one, he didn't touch anyone. He did touch the wall, and maybe that's why it came out. And then two, excuse me, probably because he was also on track. I think that's probably why it came out as well. But yeah, I mean that's unfortunate because again, everyone was clean running. No door banging, no drama tonight, and it was just straight clean racing, and that's what we strive for here at RFRL.
Absolutely. If you like what you've seen here tonight, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and notification bell. But it is time for your official results here on a Tuesday night, week number 10. As we talked with Jordan Tross, our race winner, Ryan Philbrick, and Dakota Reeder is our podium here in week number 10. Then we have Nate Lesko in that 20, finishing 15 spots to the good. He ties Justin Carey for that hard charger award, who finishes in that fifth position. Brandon Schumann comes home sixth. Todd Perront seventh. Justin Clapper eighth. John Crosby, as we mentioned, comes home with the fastest lap of the race. But we do believe that damage that he sustained with those water buckets on the entry of pit wall, water buckets, sand buckets, whatever they're putting in there, caused damage to the right quarter panel of that truck, and he just couldn't get right as the race played out to come home ninth. Shout out to the wins, always tuning in here on a Tuesday night. Thomas Wynn finally gets his top 10 here in the Rat Think Racing League Tuesday night series. Then we get into the last truck on the lead lap, and that's Tony Burleson in the 97 machine. Then after that, it's guys that unfortunately went a lap down with only one caution here tonight. It was just a tough go as David Bersecki finishes 12th. Ryan Sousa finishes 13th. Gary Wright in that Bucky's machine, shout out to Bucky's, finishes in that 14th position. Good run out of Gary. Colton Jackson, even with that spin out, finishes in a top 15th spot, only with one lap down. Zachary Wynn comes home in that 16th position, just about 3 laps down. Then you have Brandon Yates. We have Bowman there in that 19. We saw Cody Deek in that 13 machine. Tom Ringer, I'm sort of surprised out of this result here tonight. Jacob comes home in the 20th position. Keith Vaughn down there in the 32 machine as well. Tyler Waltz, that's very surprising as well, in that 54 machine, coming home in that 22nd position. Jacob, as we round out our official results here tonight, some surprising names at the bottom of the grid. We do see the favorites sort of rise to the top here tonight. What are your thoughts as we close out week number 10 with only 4 races to go here in the season?
No, to close out my thoughts is it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes up at Darlington. I mean, because again, that's a short track as well, so it's just tire wear. If we don't have any cautions, pitch strategy, green stop runs, that's what we're looking for here. But also too, like with that, it's who's gonna play the best card essentially next week, and then that's really going to ultimately dictate who's going to end up winning that championship towards the end of the season.
Absolutely. And as mentioned, folks, you got to make sure to tune in on a Tuesday night to the Rat Think Racing League YouTube page. We have a live feed of the O'Reilly series on Wednesday night, and then we go live with some breakdown commentary with the next gens on Thursday. And Jacob, you lead that broadcast on a Thursday night. That's very, very competitive, and it's quite a jump from trucks to those next gens. But as we mentioned, that championship hunt is just getting hotter and hotter as these races are ticking down. As we head to Darlington next week, we're going to see those short track favorites rise to the top once again. But it is Jordan Tross getting back to victory lane, his first victory since the month of January. It has been a minute, but this could kickstart a run out of Jordan in that 79 machine. But for everybody here at the Ratfink Racing League, we want to wish everybody a great Tuesday night. We want to thank everybody for tuning in as well. For myself, William Tiller, joined by the man always working 2 jobs, giving you always the crispy broadcast here on a Tuesday night, Mr. Jacob Williams. We want to wish everybody a great night. We'll catch you back here on Thursday for Next Gens here in the Ratfig Racing League and Darlington next Tuesday. We'll see you then.
Perfect. That went pretty fast. I thought it was. Hmm. Yeah. No, it's always. Oh, go ahead.